Hi, and welcome. Are you all in for scare? Ha 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 ha. The Weeping Widow, artist unknown.
Hello guys, before I start this video, I am upcoming up on YouTube with creepypastas and pretty soon true scary stories. I have two videos uploaded right now of two true scary stories. So right now today we're doing a creepypasta. The editing, the voicing done by me. Years old from Heaven, Cornwall. Emma is around 5'5" and of a slender build. Emma has long brunette hair and brown eyes. Last seen on Tuesday, parents reported that Emma was last seen in her own home around 9 p.m. Carolyn Smallings, Emma's mother, received a text exactly 12 a.m. from Emma. The text said help, and unfortunately we are unable to trace where it was sent from. As soon as the Carolyn received the text, she checked her daughter's room, only to find her blog page open on her computer. No photos has been released, but these mysterious blogs posts have been. It seems Emma was being stalked. If anyone has any information, contact the police immediately. Below, we have attached the blog post. All the people involved also went missing around a week ago. Suspicion that Emma may have gone to find them. Please contact us with any information you may have. 1. Moving. Hey everyone, my name is Emma. I thought I'd set up a blog as I am processing of moving. I've been researching the place I'm moving to, Crackton Heaven somewhere in Cornwall. I lived in London my whole life. I don't particularly want to move to some beachside middle of nowhere shithole, but I have no choice. I will miss the busy streets in London, the shopping, my friends, all the West End performances. I really want to say, and Googling the place made me want to stay here in London even more. Crackton Heaven is basically a quiet seaside village full of cliffs and caves. I searched the place online so I could prepare myself for whatever I was getting into. And the internet is just full of some weeping widow woman. Basically, she has like no face except holes with her eyes should be, and she like wanders the beaches screaming and shit. But anyone who has made direct eye contact with her has gone missing. How can you make direct eye contact with someone who has no eyes? Bullshit if you ask me. The residents are either batshit crazy or jokers. The checker out an online forum about this thing, and comments are full of people claiming to live in Cornwall who have seen the alleged weeping widow maybe moving. There won't be so bad after all. It seems like the residents have a good sense of humor. Anyways, I better get packing. Haven't even started yet. I am leaving tomorrow. I'll update you when I get to the shithole. Blog 2. All moved in. Hello, I woke up at 6 a.m., ready for the long journey ahead of me. We didn't want to pay for a moving man, so we loaded up an old horse traveler for all of our furniture and filled the empty back seats with boxes of personal belongings. I was not looking forward to carrying this to our new house. Surprisingly, I actually like the place with the house isn't too bad, and the locals seem colored than I'd expected. They're all actually people my age, not just a load of old biddies. The actually moving in process has worn me out, so this will be a short post so I can get some rest. Having it to basically drag all of my belongings up a step cliff for half a mile before getting to the house is not a fun thing to do. Although we did get some help from some locals. The helpful locals introduced themselves, and they all seem close to my age. There's a short blonde girl called Louise. She seems pretty funny. Her brother Louis and his best friend Kyle. I'm not going to lie, Kyle was a pretty good-looking lad. He offered to carry the heavier objects with usually decline, but I secretly wanted to see him work his strong arms. The house is pretty big actually, and my bedroom is sick. It has a balcony basically over the edge of a massive cliff, looking over the edge making me dizzy. Why anyone would move out of a house like this, I have no idea. It's awesome. I can't watch all this suffers from the balcony too. Kyle said he likes to surf. Surfing is a big thing here. Everyone seems to observe over it. The only downside of this place is having to hike everywhere I go. Basically, the beach is like a semicircle with walls surrounding the rounded side and the sea along the straight side. Huge cliffs stand each side of the beach, and my house is basically hanging on the edge of the left cliff. Over the wall is a car park with a small gift shop and a fish and chip shop. Above both of these sits are a pretty big pub, which I plan to check out later. This place is full of hills and cliffs, so I can tell I'm going to get a good work out anywhere I go. Anyway, I want to get some sleep so I can check out this place properly later. Bye. Vlog 3. The Cumbie Barton Inn. So I went to the pub tonight. I bumped into Luisi, Kyle, and Lewis. We all had a few drinks and got to know each other. I can see Luisi being a close friend of mine. She has a great sense of humor and is so easy to talk to. Luis is into gaming and didn't shut up about Saints Row all night. Although it is a good game, he seems like a good guy. Kyle, however, barely spoke. He just sat there mysteriously flexing his arms every now and then. It's very clear he loves himself. Can't blame him, to be honest. He leans, he has the massive blondie surfer hair look, seems to always wear vests and swimsuit shorts. He also wears this little shark tooth necklace and always seems to be fiddling with it. Sometimes I wonder if he was even with the rest of us or off in his own little world. He seemed to be straight staring at me a lot though. After a little while, the rowdy football fans came in to watch the England v German World Cup game, so we could barely hear each other talk. We headed outside for some air. It was starting to get darker. Kyle whipped out a cigarette and offered me one. Completely my Hisburg t-shirt, I took one and whistled the others were talking. I zoned out. I couldn't stop thinking about the stupid Weeping Widow myths. Eventually I decided to ask the others if they had heard anything of this woman. Kyle laughed and said that some crazy woman likes to roam the beach at night screaming and people are stupid for thinking it's actually some dead woman with just eyes. Lewis laughed along. He seemed to be Kyle's little follower. Louise, however, stayed silent. She looked really on the edge for some reason. Apparently, loads of people who claim to have seen this woman went missing. Kyle's reaction that they all went out and left. Lewis laughed along again. Louise flashed them both the evil look. After another round of drinks, Kyle and Louise left. Louise walked with me back to my house. She was silent the whole way. Sometimes really seemed to have been bothered her. I invited her in for a cup of tea, typically British me. She stayed silent for ages. Whistled, we watched TV. After a while, she randomly asked how I knew about the Weeping Widow story. I told her about the Google season and the comments I saw on there. She asked to see them. We were scrolling and suddenly she gasped at the point at the screen. The comment read, "I keep seeing this woman everywhere I go. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw her once when I looked out my balcony. I swear, we made direct eye contact since then. I've been too afraid to leave my bedroom. I don't know what to do." This comment seemed to be really freaked Louise out. Posted by someone by the username Tamika213. I asked Louise what's wrong. She said she used to be the best friend with Tamika. This time last year she disappeared. No trace of her has been found since. The last she ever heard from her was a text message saying, "Help." Louise was really shook up. She told me Tamika used to always try to talk to her about this shadow she kept seeing and having nightmares about. Louise thought she was being stupid at the time. She didn't believe her after she went missing. She saw her diary full of crazy sketches of a woman with black holes for eyes and nothing else, saying that she was always watching. After a while, Louise fell asleep on the sofa, so I just left her to it and went up to bed. She's still fast asleep now. Mom and Dad aren't home, so it's not trouble letting her stay. I wouldn't want to wake her after how shook up she was. As soon as As soon as it hit 12 a.m., I felt strange. I got this urge to look out the balcony, but I resisted it. I feel like I was being watched or something was beckoning for me. Anyway, I'm off to bed now. We'll post back whenever. Vlog 5. Beach party gone wrong. Well, tonight was weird. Me and Luisi had pre-drinks before going out, so I had that nice, excited, warm, and fuzzy feeling when we left for the party. I couldn't wait, but I was also nervous. I decided to dress up a bit, make myself look half decent for a good first impression on the new people I would meet. Loads of people were there. I barely knew anyone. Luisi introduced me to some, but I don't remember any names. Most of the guys were carrying surfboards, but no one seemed to be surfing. There was a massive bonfire in the middle of the beach. Someone bought a portable radio. People were cooking sausages and burgers on a disposable barbecue grill, and the others had bought the big portions of fish and chips from the chippy. The beach was literally with empty bottles and cans, and the party had barely just started. It was nervous, surrounded by all of these people, so I just sat down and drank the night away. I felt fine, so I stood up. As soon as I stood up, I realized just how drunk I was. Nearly fell into the fucking nearly fell into the fucking bonfire. Luckily, Kyle caught me. He sat me down and made me drink some water and eat some of his chips. I started to feel a little better, so he stood up and helped me to my feet. Dancing in the Moonlight by Top Loader came on, one of my favorite songs ever to me. Surprise Carl held out his hand for me to dance with him. We basically spent the whole night dancing, drinking, and talking. I really like Kyle, and it seems he likes me too. When we were dancing, I saw envious stares from girls all around us. I couldn't help but feel smug. After a night of dancing, we eventually sat down by the fire and talked for a bit. Everyone had left except us four. Lewis and Louise were practically passed out by the fire, so me and Kyle decided to get away for a bit. He led me to a cave in the cliff to the right side of the beach. Basically, he kissed me. It felt amazing. It felt like my whole body was about to explode into fireworks. I couldn't stop kissing him. We got a bit carried away. As soon as he got his top off, by a we We were startled by a piercing scream coming from outside. We both ran to investigate. I could barely feel my legs. As I ran, Saul was toppling over with every step I took. I felt numb with fear. I thought it was Lucy. Lucy was okay, and so was Louis. They were both jolted, wide awake. Luis pointed towards the sea, speechless. We saw nothing. Luisi was freaking out, screaming that someone could have been drowning, so Kyle swam out on his surfboard to check it out. After about 10 minutes of sitting around the fire waiting for him to come back, we saw him bobbling back to his board. He shouted, "Everyone, go home and call the lifeguards. I can't see anyone out here." Just as I went to protest, a massive splash erupted from the sea, and Kyle was nowhere to be seen. I ran home, followed by Luisi and Lewis. We all called an ambulance just in case he was hurt. I spent the last few hours out on my balcony looking for any sign of Kyle. Luisi came out to persuade me to come inside, but before she could say anything, we heard another scream, identical to the last one. The screaming happened exactly at 12 a.m., accompanied by the odd feeling I have ever seen every single night. Luis ran out, and we all searched the beach for the source of the noise. Suddenly, we saw a dark figure emerge from the sea. I held my breath, begging that it was Carl making his way back to the shore safely, but instead it was a tall woman with long hair, wearing a torn-up black dress. It looked as though she almost been attacked by a shark, or something. Luisi thought it was a girl from the party we heard screaming earlier, but she made her way back to the shore. "Hey, are you okay?" shouted Luis. The woman slowly turned around and cocked her head at us. We could barely make out her face. She walked towards the house, and could have sworn she had no eyes. It felt for a second as if she was looking into my soul. A strange feeling pierced through me, startling at my eyes, and soon it spread everywhere. We ran inside, locked all the doors and windows, trying to calm down. We were trying to convince ourselves that it was just a woman who got a bit too drunk at the party, but Louise was pretty sure it was the Weeping Widow. Louise said she didn't feel safe in this house. They then proceeded to tell me that this house once belonged to her missing friend, Tamika. I can't believe she never told me this before. I told them both to leave as I was far too pissed off to think rationally. Whatever got her could easily get me, and I had no warning until now. So here I am freaking out. I'm going to try and sleep now. I'll update you when I find out just what the fuck is going on. Blog sick. Blog. The day after the beach party, I headed to the beach to see what all the noise was. The place was crawling with police officers, so I couldn't make it down to the seafront from a distance. I saw something red staying in the beach. I overheard a police officer say this has happened countless times and we still not got a single witness case. The other replied, it seems to be exactly the same thing you have thought we would be some kind of evidence left behind. Strange. I didn't want to listen anymore. I wanted to go home. As I went to turn around, I caught a glimpse of something. I looked down to see a shark-tooth necklace. I swear I've seen that somewhere before. I picked it up and took it home with me. Since then, I've not left my house. I've been far too shook up from the events of the party. And what I saw from the balcony, I barricaded my balcony door with furniture and covered the windows with cardboard boxes from the moving process. I've been shut in my room for weeks now. I've been took time out of work. The news is swarming with reports of Kyle going missing. Typical, as soon as something gone happens to me, it disappears, huh? Lucy keeps messaging me about nightmares and seeing a black Sahulu out of the corner of her eye. Everywhere she goes, she's just trying to shit me up. Like when she said Tamika lived here before, I ignored her messages. I feel as if everyone is playing a big joke on me because I'm new. It's not funny. Blog 7 News. Luisi messaged me again yesterday at 12 a.m. 12 a.m. My phone made me jump as the text read along with a strange feeling, but the feeling was 10 times worse than it ever was before. The text said help, not another word. I didn't think anything of it until I logged into my Facebook to find people posting that she's gone missing. There's a whole webpage dedicated to finding her. What the hell is going on? Lewis also messaged me saying he thinks he knows what's happened to Luisi, but when I asked what, he didn't answer. He was also reporting missing. I received the exact same help text from him, too, at 12 a.m. the day after Luisi's text. I keep having the nightmare about the beginning tied up in the cave somewhere, covered in the blood, screaming my name for help. Kyle's surfboard torn in half, lying beside them. I keep seeing a tall silhouette in the background. Every single time I wake up, just before the silhouette moves forwards into a full sight, I feel like a shadow. I feel like shadows are moving. I constantly feel a presence right behind me, as if it's 2 inches away, but whenever I turn, nothing but shadows. I'm literally shitting it. I have no idea what's happening to them, but I have to go and find them. I feel like this is entirely my fault somehow, and only I can help them. I'm getting ready to go out now. I've not left my house in weeks, and I don't want to have to explain where I'm going to my parents, so I'm going to sneak out of my balcony door and climb down for there. Plus, it's 11:30 p.m., so I don't want to wake them. Anyways, I'm just about to leave. I know I can find them. I will post as soon as I get back. I promise updating you on whatever happens will be the first thing I do. I promise. This blog was the latest update exactly 5 minutes after Erin was last seen by her mother in her own bedroom. We are working as hard as we can to go find her, but we need anyone who has any more information to come forward immediately. Thank you for your time. Ooh, guys, now that was a long story and creepy at the same time. I didn't mention the author in the first part of my video, so this time I'm going to give you a little lit on who the author is. The author is Mabbers. So, yeah, I am on www.creepypasta.org in case you guys are interested in this story. Alright, guys, I'm going to try posting this now, so I'll catch y'all later.